I helped my dad cheat on his taxes for 20 years, only to discover he'd been embezzling money from my college fund the entire time every April since I was 12. Dad and I had our special ritual. Mom would take my brother shopping and Dad would spread tax documents across the dining table with 2 calculators and 2 sodas. Time for our annual financial magic show, Olivia, he'd say, winking. Remember? This is our little secret. By 16, I could find tax loopholes like a pro dad, owned 3 hardware stores, and he taught me every trick. How to categorize personal purchases as business expenses, how to forget cash transactions, how to create fictional contractors. The government takes enough, he'd say. We're just protecting what's ours. I believed him. Dad was my hero, the man who coached my softball team despite hating sports, who promised me the world. Every time we shaved thousands off his tax bill, he'd transfer money to my college account right in front of me. See that? $5,000 saved, $5,000 for your future, he'd say. By the time you are ready for Harvard, we'll have enough to pay cash. I felt special being trusted with adult secrets. It became my identity, the financial prodigy who'd someday take over the family business. The truth emerged during my senior year when I needed account statements for financial aid applications. After weeks of Dad's excuses, I drove to our bank during lunch period. I am not seeing a college fund under your name, the banker said. Here's a joint account with your father, but it was opened just 6 months ago and only has $2,300 in it. We'd been saving for 10 years. There should have been over $150,000 that evening. I confronted Dad in his office, his face crumpled. I can explain, he whispered, his confident persona evaporating. The stores haven't been profitable for years, but you show me the statements every month. I said. The deposits, I made them in Malto, he admitted. I transferred money in and out of the same account while you watched, then showed you fake statements. My world collapsed. What about Harvard? What about all the money we saved with the tax tricks? Dad's silence told me everything. There was no money. The next day I adjusted my college plans, community college instead of Ivy League. That night I found a USB drive in my desk containing years of tax documents, fake expense reports, and evidence of Dad's financial magic. For weeks I carried that USB like a grenade with the pin half pulled. One email to the IRS and Dad would face prison time. Instead, I made copies and confronted him. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You are going to hire a tax attorney and file amended returns. You'll take a second mortgage on the house for a real college fund for me and my brother, and you'll come clean to Mom. You'd be implicated too. I was a minor when this started, Dad, when you made me your accomplice. The law will see me as your victim. 3 days later, Mom moved into a hotel. Dad sold 2 stores to pay back taxes and penalties. The third barely covers child support and Mom's mortgage. I'm in my second year at community college now, working nights at an accounting firm next semester. I transferred to state with a partial scholarship and loans. Dad calls sometimes asking if I'd reconsidered our situation. He says we could start over, find new loopholes. I always answer, some forms of magic aren't worth the price of admission. The strangest part, I still love him, but I'll never trust him again, and I'll never mistake secrecy for specialness or confuse